Hi, Louise.
Hi, Sarah.
Well, have just started. It's our second week. The last week we only did really the sort of prologue, and now
Mm.
we've read the first couple chapters of You Can't Get Rid of Me, an adopted son's search for a family, Jesse, Scott, and Keri Ault.
Yeah, this is already very hard to stop reading.
I know.
I challenge you listeners to read with us because I have a feeling you're going to want to blow through this book.
I think so too. So basically, he's starting off. He lives in Palm Springs with
hmm
his partner,
hmm
and he has been kind of obsessing on his computer, and everybody kind of around him is like, just do it already. And what that
Yeah.
means is just do the DNA test. It's 2016.
Yeah, he's literally like, and he and his brother, his little brother, they were
A year
siblings,
apart. They
year
were
apart,
and adopted together.
adopted.
I was glad to hear that,
Me
that
too. Yeah,
adopted
his
together.
parents, he gets into his parents, they sound decent, but there's so many funny where you're like, okay, you're really the adoptee. Like,
I
I
know.
mean, it's kind of some hard stuff. Like Jesse, as we know, is a gay man, and he lives with his partner, and his partner is loves him. They've been together 17 years. It made me laugh because it reminded me of some people in my life. But he is funny because he's like, he just still doesn't tell his family that they're. He's like, oh, my roommate.
Right.
Like, come on,
Well, his
his
partner
partner.
doesn't tell his
Yeah.
family.
He's like, listen, if you live in Palm Springs, you've had the same roommate for 17 years, and you have rhinestones on your jeans. I think it gives it away. There's some great writing in here. I loved it. But yeah, so he's going to do the ancestry
But he
and
waited
hmm
until his
died.
mother died. She had Alzheimer's,
Yeah,
and he waited. That's common
it is
with
common.
adoptees. I was talking to someone this weekend. She's actually her m- different. She was the product of an egg donation,
Oh, okay.
and her biological mother really, wants to have a relationship. And she kind of said, I need to spend time with my parents before they die, and she's young. So I was like, oh, it's got the grips, right? The grips
Yeah,
are in there.
yeah.
Um,
It's you feel very beholden.
and
So
I think
yeah,
they've had a pretty kind of a rough life,
yeah,
these two brothers. Like Lee is his brother's in a
yeah,
motorcycle gang-ish, I guess, and both of them drugs.
yeah.
It's kind of been a rough life. And in fact, when they went to their mother's funeral, they weren't even in the slide
Oh,
in the picture show, and that had been the same. Their parents also had a biological daughter, and she had died
yeah.
not long before that. The father wrote them out of the will. Nobody included them in the photos.
It's
So
bizarre. And
I
he was
know.
super close to his mom. It's very sad that she had Alzheimer's and felt close to his dad, but then his dad said those mean things. I'm glad you brought that up because just the whole fact they did like a slideshow. My brother and I put together a slideshow, okay, for my parents dying and what if he had not put my pictures in there? It would be like, what that's to me, and he's kind about it. I wonder how he'll get through the book. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, maybe it was the brother-in-law who forgot, and I'm just like, this is where you're not all the way in the family. It just pisses me off.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah,
And they do have been told that they're Native American.
yeah.
So we will see with the DNA what
Oh,
turns up there.
and one thing is that, their last name is Martinez, and it was a more racially divided time and whatever. And the parents changed their name. So he was
Right.
Jose. He got changed to, it was,
Jesse.
he was actually Jesus and got changed to Jesse. And then his brother got changed to Lee from like totally different name. I forget what the name was, but and he was very upset about it. He remembers, he has a childhood memory of saying that's not his name.
Yeah.
And already your identity is being erased. I mean, these kids came to them when they were like 3 and 2 or something like that. They had names. You know what I mean? It's not
I
even the
know.
baby.
And
That
then the
that part.
brother, the parents, and then the parents didn't tell them they were adopted. They found out at school from a
Yeah,
kid who I had a similar, I mean, I knew I was adopted, but I had a
yeah,
kid that was like, well, you're adopted, making fun
same.
of me. And he went through that, and that's how they found out. The brother, someone said
Yeah,
something to Lee, and then Lee went to Jesse, And then they went to their mom and she's like, "Oh, well, I wanted to wait and
Yeah.
tell you, and that it's because we chose you. We went and
Yeah.
chose again the whole we're lucky to have gotten you. We chose you."
They were
And
trying to just ignore
and
it.
in fact, it says, "Well, with you boys, you grew up in a different mommy's tummy. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to take care of you. You two are so special that we went and actually chose you to come live in our house." It's so funny how it's every adoptive parent from that time period had the same
And
dialogue given to them too. Here's the script for when the
yep.
kids ask, here's your
Yep.
script.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is he was very like Lee, his brother doesn't want to know anything. He's just angry, just pissed.
Well, Lee said, it didn't make him feel special. It just made
No,
him feel different.
made him feel different.
Yeah.
And and Jesse though was inquisitive, and then his parents, his mom, they would tell him, "Well, your mom was a prostitute
Right.
and stuff." And then he's like, "What do I?" Which they don't even. I don't know whether
Like,
that's
what is
true or
that to
not.
say to a young kid? Even he realized like that's a
He was
weird
like,
thing to say to a
makes me
young
feel
kid.
weird.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. They were like so protective, and then, but by the way, your mom was a prostitute. I mean, it was just weird
That's why you were
messaging.
born so close in age. That was the
Yeah,
excuse,
that's oh right.
you were born so close in age because your mom was a prostitute.
Yeah. And then
So,
he had some good feelings about his dad because his dad brought home books about Native Americans to help him understand
except
tribes
at the
and
time they called
yeah,
them
they call
Indians and
in
Injuns.
horrible,
Yeah.
horrible.
So the same dad who, by
That's
the
how
way,
I'm saying it. Right.
later cut them out of the will.
That's what I'm saying. He had these feelings about him, like that was nice of my dad, but then it was like not really.
Right.
Just it's just uneducated about what you're doing, really, while you're raising these children.
Hmm.
I just had a conversation with somebody else this weekend that upset me, where I was like, okay, there's education out there. Go find it. If you're bringing a child into your home for there's a lot of research now.
Yes. A lot of resources to.
Yeah,
Well, and then the end of the chapter, he sends off his DNA.
yeah.
So
I'm glad we stopped there. We'll find out.
I'm looking forward to what comes next. It's
Yeah,
not a very long book, friends, so it won't, I'm sure we're going to
blow
power
through it.
through this quickly. So
I already saw it as a movie.
it does seem like
Hmm.
it does seem like it could be a movie
It really
for
does.
sure.
Jesse, if you're listening, there you go.
And we're going to meet Jesse.
I
So
know. I know.
he'll
It's
be
exciting.
our season finale or our
Yeah.
not I don't know what we're doing. Anyway, we have Jesse
Yeah.
in the books.
Yeah.
So,
He'll be in the books.
yeah. All right. Well, I will see you in a minute for Susie.
See you in a minute for Susie. Good one.